Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. So today you join me on this video as we talk about the new Leicester City manager. That is right. So like today's video guys, hit that like button, subscribe if you're not already. Without further ado, let's begin. So if you see on the news guys, Leicester City, my boys, have announced their signing of a very ambitious manager. That is right, it is RussellMartin. So let's just have a bit of a chat about him, okay? So if you guys obviously are Leicester fans, we can all get excited together. So yes, in my opinion, okay, it is a very ambitious appointment from Leicester, the board themselves, okay? So I've got to admit, RussellMartin in League One is a bit of a cheat code. RussellMartin has quite a good reputation, okay? Obviously he was at Southampton, Swansea, you know, he done really well at Swansea as well. Done well at Southampton, not so good at Rangers, which we'll get on to in a bit, okay? So, yeah, in my opinion, guys, we could not have appointed a better type of manager, okay? So, remember back in the time, a couple of years ago, Leicester announced the signing of Enzo Maresca. Top fell in love with his kind of football style, and ever since then the main focus is to get someone in like Enzo Maresca, okay? So I've heard on the news that they have been wanting RussellMartin for a good few years, okay? And obviously it's not quite worked out because obviously we signed other managers in the process, but yeah, so now they have got their man, and it's a very ambitious move. 3-year contract for RussellMartin. I think, in my opinion, I think he was quite excited by this rebuild process because this, guys, Leicester right now, okay, in a state right now where a rebuild is needed 100%, okay? You know, new players coming in, selling players that we don't want in the side, because Leicester team right now is very shambolic. You know, we've got some top players, but it's just not worked out. So I think this rebuild situation has really got into RussellMartin's head. I think he's quite excited by this rebuild. So I did watch his interview, obviously after Leicester announced him as manager, and one thing I got from that interview is, he said a few key words that are stuck in my mind, is togetherness, okay? Leicester in recent times have missed that togetherness, okay? And RussellMartin, you know, he is not the one to sit on the fence. He will say it how it is. We'll get on to all this in a moment, guys. Leicester's team are not together, okay? It's been a bad atmosphere for quite some time, and what I got from that interview is he wants to bring that togetherness back, that fighting spirit. He mentioned a lot as well. Fighting spirit is what we've lacked massively as well. So he's announced that. So togetherness, team spirit, aggression, okay? We lost that aggression a few years back as well. You know, he announced some, you know, he said some very big key words, and you know, watching that interview, I think he knows what he wants from his players, and that is all you can ask for. A manager who comes in, demands what he wants. He says aggression, you know, he wants aggression, he wants to press, he wants to dominate the football pitch with the passing ability around these teams, okay? So, you know, I think obviously the way Enzo played under Leicester, you know, it suited Leicester to a T. Yes, sometimes it can be really poor, you know, boring football, but if you're dominating the games, the main thing is you need to get somewhere with it afterwards. It's okay passing side to side, passing back to the goalkeeper, okay, but that's the only thing I think he will struggle on. Slow build up, okay? A lot of Leicester fans do not want slow build up. Obviously when Enzo Maresca was in charge, a lot of like old school Leicester fans were saying, get it up, get it forward. Football has moved on since then. You know, it is not quite that simple anymore, just getting the ball up to the top. You know, you have to try and draw these players, you know, the teams in to create that space for you. So if you've been saying get it forward and watching this video, please just stop. let Russell Martin cook. Okay, just let him cook. Let him do his business, because Russell Martin's teams love to dominate the ball. Okay, and it will be nice. I think in League One he will get away with it massively. In the Championship, we'll get away with it massively. Okay, so you know, in my opinion, Russell Martin is the man for this job, and I think he will. You know, he has now the chance to rebuild his own squad. Okay, that is what the privilege is. I think that is a big thing why he came in as well. The privilege to do this rebuild. Okay, so let's go on to a few little things that you know, about him. So he's 40 years old. Okay, in my opinion, very, very young for a manager. But in that time though, he has had a lot of experience. Okay, so for a 40-year-old manager, he's had that, you know, he had some massive experience getting Southampton to the Premier League from the Championship. So yes, granted, their season in the Premier League did not go to plan, but you have to think Southampton didn't really provide him with much money to buy players for that Premier League season. So at the start of the season, they were looking quite good. Okay, but I think they did get worked out a little bit by other teams, and that is why they got relegated again. But Russell Martin did not have the resources or the support from Southampton to try and stay in the Premier League. But when you watch his teams play, you know, when you watch his teams play, you know, there's some sort of identity about the teams that he manages. Okay, and Leicester have lacked identity for quite some time since Enzo Maresca has left. Okay, so I think with his style of football and his identity of what he wants from the players, I think it's a very smart move for the Leicester board to get him in to be the manager. So yeah, so he likes to dominate the ball, guys. Obviously, the one thing I think he will lack at Leicester is the quality. I think Leicester's quality in the back line, okay, is not great. Like, you know, we haven't got a goalkeeper who can play to Russell Martin's strengths. I've seen a stat online where the manager of Southampton, Zulu, who was Southampton's goalkeeper, I think he's still there now, to be fair, he made over 1,000 passes with an 85% passing accuracy. So that just shows you Russell Martin likes to play from the back, and I think in League One, Leicester, you know, Leicester should dominate the League One if he sticks to that same style of play. So, you know, I'm quite excited for Russell Martin. I think it's a new era now. You know, young manager, signed a 3-year contract with an extension of a couple, you know, few more years. And I think he's quite excited about this adventure, should I say. So one more thing I want to get on to is the way so as you all know, it was manager of Rangers. Okay, he lasted 123 days there, so not long at all. But what I did get from his stint at Rangers is I remember watching an interview calling out some players about not wanting to play, doing their own thing on the pitch, not doing what he has been coaching them to do. He said that word a lot, by the way, coach. Okay, he said they did not do the things I have coached them on the training pitch. And, you know, in the end, it turned quite sour. He had to be guarded out of the stadium by police escorts, you know, security, because he was that much, you know, he was so hated at Rangers for things he would do, obviously, you know, the way they were playing as well. But yeah, so he called out the players a lot. He called out the way they are, you know, not listening to what he wants. And it's funny to say, because now mentioning this, Danny Rowell or whatever, Danny Rowell took over from Russell Martin, and within the space of 4 months, Danny Rowell has already jumped ship to RP Slavsberg. Okay, so again, he has also commented about the team, about, you know, they are lacking a lot of things. So it's funny to say, RussellMartin's stint at Rangers did not go to plan. So that is what Leicester fans are not understanding, okay? A lot of Leicester fans are on about, yeah, he got sacked from Rangers, you know, after 123 days. But you have to understand, Danny Rowell has also left, you know, by his own consent to go to a different team because he knows Rangers aren't quite there. So you know what? I'm not holding RussellMartin accountable for their mistakes at Rangers, okay? You know, he said it, Danny Rowell said it, so, you know, it's a fresh start. He's been out since October 2025. We are now in June to July. So, that's 6 months out. Apparently, he has been talking to a lot of more managers, you know, thinking about new ideas. So, you know what, guys? Us Leicester fans should be excited about us Leicester fans, guys, should be excited for RussellMartin. New era at Leicester. It's a new RussellMartin era. So yeah, so it's going to be big things happening in League One. We've got a massive rebuild coming, guys. So I thought I'd do this video to explain a few things to you about RussellMartin. You know, I think in this League One campaign, his style of play is going to be crucial to getting out of League One to the Championship. You know what? I've got a good feeling. I've got a good feeling about RussellMartin. I weren't sure at the time, but I've been, you know, been doing some digging about him, and the best thing of all, his girlfriend Lucy Pinder will be in the stands at King Power. So anyway, guys, let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts about RussellMartin? I'll see you guys next week for a brand new video. Thank you for watching. Good, and good.